This is what a celestial fruit would look like if it was in the game, and this is a Shadow Awakening rumored to come out in the next update. These are some of the craziest Blox fruit concepts that you must know. Okay, so the very first fruit we got here is the celestial fruit, and I'm very excited to see what this fruit concept looks like. Okay, so first we got this M1 ability, and it looks very cool. It's a pretty simple slash, but the effects look really good for a fruit concept. Next we got the F ability, which is the movement ability, and this basically just lets you dash into someone. Pretty straightforward ability. You just dash forward, and I'm guessing you deal damage. Next up we got the Z ability, and this one is called Godly Disintegration, and look at this, bro. The effects for a concept are actually insane. Look at this purple color. It just looks really cool. Next up, we got the Chronostatic Shatter, which is the X ability with 150 mass requirement. And look at this one. It stops your opponent from moving completely and just explodes them, dealing a good amount of damage to them. Next, we got Ancient Titan Guardians, which is, oh my god, look at this one. You just spawn in a bunch of giant knights and they just start beating the crap out of your enemy. It looks very, very cool. Then we got the V ability, which is the special move of this fruit. And look at this. Wait, that kind of looks like the bomb fruit. And like he mentions in the video, the ground effects are very, very cool. And you also get a sword with wings. This is like an upgraded angel race. Look at this, it even boosts the abilities. This is the Z ability while using the transformed version. And then we got the Chronostatic Shatter. And look at this, bro. It changes colors and looks so much cooler. And let's see if the Titans change. Oh my god, wait, they charge at your enemy now? That is crazy. Then we got the F ability. And instead of dashing, you actually fly into the sky. That is very, very cool. I really like this fruit. Anyways, that's pretty much it for this. Let's head over to the next fruit. Alright, next fruit we got here is the Magna fruit, and let's take a look what this looks like. And you guys should know the fruit if you already watched One Piece. It's the fruit that Kid has, and it's a very overpowered, especially if you have it awakened. In this concept, it only has 3 different abilities: a Z ability, an X ability, and a C ability. So first up, he's going to show us the Z ability, which is Blazing Gears. This one, you kind of just shoot out a metal gear. Not sure how much damage it does, but it should be a pretty decent amount because there's only 3 abilities. And it looks like you can actually spam this ability, and it has a very, very low cooldown. So maybe it might not do that much damage actually. Next ability is the Chaotic Repel, and this actually looks pretty decent for a concept. Kind of just repels everything away. I'm not sure how this is going to work, but it might just push your enemies away, dealing a slight amount of damage to them. I honestly can't see it working any other way. And we got the Magnetic Pull, and wait, this one's actually really sick. It summons a hand down from the sky, and looks like that hand explodes once it reaches the floor or makes contact with the player. Very solid ability, and you can also spam this one. I thought this fruit would be bad because it only had 3 abilities, but if you can spam them, I mean, it might be one of the best fruits in the game. You never know. All depends on how much damage it does. Too bad he's not testing it on players, so we can't really see much. And that's about it for this fruit. Let's head over to the next one. Okay, so the next fruit concept I got for you guys here is the flower fruit, which is the Hana Hana no Mi from One Piece. And the character that uses this fruit in the anime is Nico Robin, but I'm sure most of you watching already know. Anyways, let's get right into the fruit. Okay, so this fruit has a total of 6 different abilities, which is a bit more than it does in Blox fruits. And this actually seems to be a different Roblox game, so you might actually be able to use this. First up, we got the E ability, which is Dos Fleur. Basically just spawns hands on the NPC's head, and it just breaks their neck. And it just kind of snaps their neck, and it looks like it actually one-shots enemies. Next up, we got the Fleur Punches. And this seems to be the same ability, but instead of dealing damage all at once, it's actually going to like slowly do damage over time until it destroys the enemy. Not sure how they're punches, but I guess it works. Then we got the Q ability, Quatre Fleur, and this basically spawns 4 hands on the character's head, and it just kind of snaps their neck. But it didn't do damage there. I'm not sure how it works. Maybe it just slows them down or freezes them, so you can deal a huge combo to them. Not really sure. Here we go. He's testing it again on the character, and yeah, it looks like it just freezes your enemy. It doesn't actually do damage to them, but freezing your enemy can still be very, very overpowered if you know how to use it properly. Then we got Y, which is the toggle mode. Not really sure what this does. Seems like it gives you extra abilities. It's kind of like a transformation from Blox fruit. So your Y is your transformation. Then this is the E ability in the transformed version, and boom, look at that. It spawns a gigantic hand and just slaps your enemy. Then we got the R, which instead of doing a sideways slap, it actually just slams them down, which I'm pretty sure should do more damage. But anyways, this one looks really cool. Then we got the Q ability, which is Sis Fleur, which is kind of similar to one of the Love Fruit's abilities. It spawns in a huge circle from the character, and it looks like it instantly snaps their necks. Very, very cool fruit. Overall, I would rate this fruit like an 8 out of 10. Could be really overpowered if it was added to Blox fruits, but that's only if you know how to use it properly. Anyways, let's head over to the next one. Okay, so now instead of a fruit, we got an awakening, and this is the berry fruit awakening, and I'm pretty excited to see this one because the berry fruit hasn't been updated literally ever since it's come out. It's probably one of the worst fruits in the whole game if you ask me. Anyways, let's get right into it. Okay, so the first awaken move that we got here, and Strawberry says that it's called Repelling Shield, and apparently it repels back every single ability that comes towards it. So any projectile you shoot at these berries is literally going to be deflected straight back to you. But it's only from like one direction, it doesn't even cover half of you, and if your enemy jumps over you and hits you with an attack, then you're probably dead. There's no way to defend against that. Next move is called the Great Wrapping Barrier, and you can see exactly what it looks like. It basically just spawns a huge barrier on the floor, and if anybody touches it, makes them bounce into the air. And I'm guessing it also does a little bit of extra damage with that bounce, or else it wouldn't really make sense. But this looks like a pretty solid ability, but that all depends on how much damage it does. Next awaken move is called Great Pillars, and similar to the first awaken move, this spawns in a bunch of huge barriers that bounce back any projectile attack. And Strawberry says that this move will be really good when you're fighting in a free-for-all, so not in a 1v1 but against many players, and I kind of agree with him on this. And the next move basically creates a huge barrier spear around the player. It's similar to one of the moves of the normal barrier fruit, where it basically just locks a player in place, binds them with this huge barrier orb, and you can hit them with any move you want. It's basically like a better freeze fruit, and this move is probably the most overpowered move from this fruit, and this looks pretty cool if you ask me, and I'm actually kind of excited to see a barrier awakening now. Okay, next fruit we got here is actually very interesting. I guess this is going to be a beast type fruit, and it is the grasshopper slash cricket fruit. And the creator of this video actually made a logo for this fruit, and this is what it would look like. I guess it costs 1.4 million belly, which is a decent price, but let's see what the fruit does. Then we go straight to the Z ability, which is its hybrid form, and it looks like you spawn in wings, and you actually kind of look more like a grasshopper. But grasshoppers don't have wings, do they? I don't know. But next up, we got the passive ability over here, and for this one, you basically just jump into the air, and you can kind of fly around, or I guess bounce around, which is a pretty unique and pretty cool passive ability if you ask me. Then we got the X ability, which is the cricket stomp. For this one, you basically just leap into the air and you crash straight into the floor, similar to one of the dragon fruit's abilities, and it launches the target flying far away. And it looks like it also does AoE damage, so this looks like it'll be a pretty cool fruit for grinding. Then we got the F ability, which is jump times 100. Not sure what that means, but it looks like you kind of just float in the sky for a while. Pretty useless ability, but it is the movement ability, and in my opinion, the passive ability is probably better. Next, we got a different version of the F ability, I guess. Or is this a new ability? Not really sure. Wait, what is this? You start... There's green electricity and...
Oh my god! What is that?
Wait, you actually transform into a cricket? Wait, that's so funny. What the heck? Is this the final form of the fruit? Wait, what? I'm so confused. Well, you have a passive ability while you're a cricket? What is this? This might be the only fruit concept on this list where the untransformed version is actually better. Next up, we got the C ability in the normal form, which is Sleeping Song. And it just spawns in a huge green globe, and it just kind of destroys your enemy. Just flips them upside down, I guess. Very unique. And this also looks like it does area damage. Alright, I think we're finally getting to the ultimate here. The 4-leaf clover bomb. Damn. You dash straight forward into your enemy, and looks like you demolish them in one hit. Wait, what is this? Yo, there's a whole combo to this. That actually looks sick. Wow, these visuals on this video are crazy. Oh my god, look at that. And that's pretty much it for the cricket slash grasshopper fruit. Very solid fruit, but I think it was a meme fruit. I'm not gonna lie. Let's head over to the next one. Now we got another awakening, which is actually the smoke fruit awakening, and this one is completely fan-made concept, and I'm excited to see what these abilities look like. Alright, it looks like this fruit has a total of 4 different abilities: the smoky bombs, the smoky grab, the smoky smash, and the rocket smoke. And first, he's going to be showing us the smoky bomb. Let's see what they look like. Okay, so pretty self-explanatory ability. Not sure if it does a lot of damage, but you just shoot out a smoke projectile and it kind of goes forward, creates a lump in the soil like 3 times. And I'm guessing that's like 3 different hits if your enemy's standing there, but not really sure. Next up is the smoky grab, which is skill number 2. Pretty straightforward. You shoot out a smoky hand. I'm guessing if this catches your enemy, it's going to drag them along with it, and the longer it drags them along, the more damage it's going to do. Next up, we got the smoky smash, and for this one, you just smash into the floor with a bunch of smoke particles, kind of like the effects it does when you crash into the floor. Looks like a pretty decent ability, but I'm not really sure how much damage that's going to be doing. Next up, we got the rocket smoke, and this flight ability is literally the exact same as the flame fruit, but instead of flying around with flame, you're actually flying around with smoke. poke. Pretty interesting, and I really like this fruit concept. Anyways, let's head over to the next one. Alright, the next one we got here is not really a fruit, it's Awakening for the Shadow Fruit. And I'm actually pretty interested to see what this looks like because the creator of the video, Strawboy, actually said that this is straight from the devs, but I'm not really sure if that's true. But anyways, let's see what this Awakening concept looks like. Okay, so we got skill number 1 here, and this looks pretty interesting. I mean, it's obviously lacking a lot of context, but with the way the ability looks, I can tell that it deals a lot of damage. And it's kind of like you're shooting out shadow snakes with a red tint out of your body, and looks like it does a lot of damage to your opponent if that health bar in the video is real. But I think there's a reason it's only a screenshot. And skill 2, and I think this one is actually fan made, and it looks like a huge shadow tornado, and look at those effects. And also looks like you kind of spawn a bunch of black sludge at the bottom, which probably does a lot of damage to enemy. Anyways, we're heading on to the third and final skill of this fruit, and this actually looks pretty chaotic, I can't lie. This fruit's lacking a bit of context, but with the way this ability looks, I can tell you one thing for sure. This fruit is going to be very terrifying when it comes out, or if it comes out. Not sure if it's real yet. But overall, with the 3 abilities I can see from this, if this is actually going to be added to the game, it would be a very, very sick fruit.